The movie Clue utilizes elements of the locked room mystery and a parody to create a commentary on the genre as a whole. Its method starts with its acting like a normal locked room mystery and turning to a parody at the end. The movie starts off with all the characters being invited to the house, which is subsequently locked. The windows are barred and the outside is guarded by dogs. Essentially, no one can get in or out. After introductions, one of the people turns the lights out briefly, and when they turn on again, there has been a murder. Since no one could have gotten in or out, the only suspects are the invitees. This is the standard setup for a locked room mystery.
Each person has just received a weapon before the murder, which are now collected and put in a cabinet to try to eliminate any more murders. The guests go to dispose of the key for good, but there is a small distraction, ample time to lift the key from the butler, who has it. The guests then split up to investigate, and during this exploration, they all had an opportunity to go off on their own. There are 3 more murders in quick succession, with seemingly no one who could have done it. This is also very common in locked room mysteries. Finally, the movie ends with a reenactment of the crime and a discovery of the criminals. Reenacting the crime is a common idea in locked room mysteries to explain how the murderer could have done the seemingly impossible. However, this movie heavily exaggerates this to comedic effect. Instead of simply going through the events, the patrons run about the house frantically to actually reenact the events of the night.
Another way that this movie parodies the locked room mystery is through the ending. The movie plays the end 3 times with a different conclusion each time. In the first, Miss Scarlet is accused for all of the murders, and in the second, Mrs. Peacock is the culprit. These culprits are subsequently arrested for their criminal by a police raid, in which the chief congratulates the butler on a job well done. In the final conclusion, it turns out that every guest had a hand in the murders, save one. They all were responsible for a murder, even the butler, except Mr. Green, who in this case turns out to be the one working for the cops. That ending provides another moment of parody for the movie, since in an actual locked room mystery, the audience is encouraged to figure out the crime before the conclusion of the film. They should have been given all the clues that the detective will use, and they should be able to use them to catch the criminal. In this, however, the clues don't point just to one person who did it, but make it so the conclusions you come to are exaggerated enough that anyone could be the murderer. And the final element of parody in this movie is the exaggeration of the apprehension of the criminal. Locked room mysteries end with the criminal being caught by the police, and in this movie, that capture happens with an entire squadron of police storming the house, with the police chief standing, imposing, and smoking a cigar. This is much more dramatic take on the capture of the criminal than a normal locked room mystery.